Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another installment of the State of FEH Podcast. We're on episode 12 this time around, and there is a bunch of things to talk about. So we have our lovely guest as always. Why don't you introduce yourself, Oblivion Knight?
Hey everybody, it's Oblivion. Glad to be back. I did not know we were on episode 12. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's grown so much, and I'm so glad to have you on here as always. We also, of course, have Joel from Pheology.
Can we skip 13? Is that okay? Is that
Maybe.
Hello, summoners, and welcome to DTM's channel, who has been making bonkers content. What is it? Like, comment, and subscribe, and all that great jazz.
Something along
summoners.
the line. Yes.
So happy to be here, and I feel like the world has been turned upside down, and I cannot wait to talk about it with you guys.
Yes, there has been so many changes with the anniversary announcement and, of course, all the recent banners that we've gotten. So I guess let's jump straight into it. CYL 7 happened, and we got the results Okay, I guess I'll just put this out there right now. What are your overall thoughts on the results for CYL?
I was disappointed. I was very disappointed. And it wasn't just that Felix didn't win, but they're not characters that I love or adore, which usually I don't care about, but I think it's because I was campaigning for Felix, I cared so much. And also I saw so much support for Alencia. I was like, okay, Alencia has a chance maybe. Then the results came out and I was like, okay, Alencia was pretty far back. She was nowhere near 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's tough when you're close. That's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Felix got 3rd place, right? Behind Soren.
Again, yeah. He was, I think he was about 1,000 votes off, I want to say, around there. What sucks about that, though, is when I was campaigning, I saw so many people I voted for Felix last year, but he's going to win anyway, so I don't need to vote for him. I saw
exactly.
I saw at least 100 comments like that. So it just makes it even worse.
I mean, it just goes to show that you cannot get complacent when it comes to these CYL campaigns.
Absolutely, yeah.
I feel so bad for Bernie fans, though.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Right?
What was it? Was it 100 votes away? I mean, that's oh my gosh.
Yeah, I believe it was 117 votes, which I think is literally 14 people with the 7-vote ballot, which is so tragic. I mean, personally, I was voting for Corin, so I was really glad that she managed to get into the top 2. But yeah, it does really sting for the Bernadetta fans that it was so close yet so far.
Yeah, I think the other thing that made it worse was that the midterm results were not ordered right, so we couldn't rally. There was no rally campaigning. And also, it came so much earlier that I think a lot of people just didn't know it was even happening until partially way through or at all. So I think that really hurt. I also saw somebody compile all the votes by game, and 3 houses had 10 times the votes of any other game, yet they didn't win anywhere. So that really sucked. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I did see that too, and I do think the fact that there was no ranked midterms probably costed a lot of votes for 3 houses to be rallied into, I guess, central characters like Bernadetta or Felix. Because I remember last year when it turned out that Tiki was in 1st place, everyone rallied behind that, and it was honestly a beautiful thing. But with the lack of the ranked midterms, we didn't have that energy or that concentration. So yeah, it was. I even though there are many people that say that we should have no ranked midterms for the future CYLs, I personally disagree. I think ranked midterms, there's a lot of energy. Granted, some of that can be negative, but from my experience, it's mostly positive that I think it should be brought back.
I think you hit it on the head. There is so much less hype. Oh my god, this unit is so close. We can do it. And we were missing that.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I was pulling for Sharena, and my goal was to get her in the top 10. And me alone, but she didn't get in the top 10. So I thought that was amazing.
That was impressive.
Yeah. What? I mean, we're dodging the main topic here, though.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Gulveg?
Oh man. I mean, okay, so I like Gulveg as a design, right? I was in love with her from the first sight. But does that mean I want her to win Choose Your Legends? We've had her for 2 months. I know nothing about her other than she looks cool. Like, that's not enough for me to want her to have a Brave version, especially because we know she's going to get a Mythic version at some point in the year. There's just no way we don't get her. So, personally, I wasn't the biggest fan, especially when it could have been Alencia. I know it wouldn't have been Alencia, it would have been Bernadetta, but still, like, just the thought of having someone like that as top 2 instead of Gulveg kind of hurts.
Yeah, like, I personally had no strong feelings on Gulveg either way. Although that's partially because like female Robin was in 4th place, so Gulveg getting into the top 2 wouldn't actually matter. So I was a lot less salty than I could have been if like Robin was in 3rd place. But yeah, like personally, I don't really have any strong feelings either way on that. Like,
here's the one thing I'll say about it, and KCB brought this up, and it really drove this point home. This is actually our chance as a community to influence how they present the game to us. And it's kind of an interesting way to think about this. This is a unit that they've just put out, and we are going to get a Forging Bonds for this unit, which means we are going to get more character development than most of these new OCs get. And so we are forcing their hand to actually give us more of a character, which I think is kind of neat. Like it's a neat way to think about that.
I mean, hopefully, right? Because there's always a chance she gets Fjormed, and it's just Fjorm talking to her for every single conversation, and it sucks. Like that, they've done that before, so I wouldn't put it past them.
Cough, cough.
I mean, what I will say is that, like, obviously we've only had, 2 story chapters so far of the main story, I think?
Yeah, it hasn't been much.
So, like, obviously, as a villain, I don't know if that's spoilers or not. I hope it's not spoilers. That it's pretty obvious that, right now she is just a threat that the main trio and Sather needs to overcome. And as the story progresses, it is my hope that they, delve into more of this characterization and stuff. Having that also be a part of the Forging Bonds is definitely interesting. I'm just curious how they would do Brave Gulveg in one of the story maps, or if they would do anything at all with that.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because, like, obviously new heroes sometimes are just randomly there during the maps. So Brave Gulveg being there when we're against Gulveg, it would be interesting to see if IS does something. Of course, IS could be completely lazy and not do anything about that, but hopefully they make it interesting.
It is, and I saw someone else comment on this, like, basically this is like the summoner cheating. We're about to go against this all-powerful god. Oh, wait, I'm summoning one of my own.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what if they do, like, the whole time thing? Like, you go back in time and you're, like, fighting Gulveg from the past and the present at the same time. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, definitely.
I actually think that's what they're going to do, like, with the story. Like, there has to be a reason why we start at chapter 5, right? Because we go back in time to chapter 1. Like, that's what I'm thinking when it comes to, like, that time thing.
There's one other thing I want to bring up about CYL. Well, it's not exactly about CYL, but it's more about the midterm results. We've seen that they put them into alphabetical order, and they've done that for our hero Rises now. So what do you guys feel about that?
I do not like it. It completely messed up my saving strategy because I was going to hope to see if, like, Veronica was going to be in, like, the top 8 or anything. And even though, like, I'm fairly certain she would be in top 8, like, you never know. And, like, not having that assurance just, like, messed up my savings plans. And so, yeah, I don't like it. It's the same thing with CYL. I like the rallying. I like the energy behind that. And not being able to know, like, who needs help, who has a chance, it's just really annoying, honestly.
I like it more than I like it for CYL. I'll say that. I don't love it for all the same reasons you're talking about, but CYL is just something so special to our community. And A Hero Rises is neat, and I enjoy it, but it doesn't have quite the same impact. So I guess that's the big thing. Since I'm not as invested in A Hero Rises, then I don't mind so much that they're kind of messing with it. And I mean, ultimately, they're just trying to keep people from basically skewing the votes by dumping them all into one person. So, you get more of a wider spread. But like you said, though, I don't like that they're killing the hype train, because that is, I mean, for even when people get really angry, it is interesting to watch the highs and lows that come from those midterm rankings.
It definitely. I just don't want, we get Brave or Fallen Elgard on that top 8, because I will tilt so hard. I will start the rally to destroy her in the voting gauntlet. Whatever I have to do, because I do not want that in the banner. I will just completely ruin the banner. Let's be real. On
the other hand, whoever goes up, if Fallen Elgard, and I don't think she will, I really don't think she'll make it. If she does, if you are hoping for a unit to make it all the way, then you hope that they're the one going up against Fallen Elgard.
That'd be funny. Summer Elgard versus Fallen Elgard.
If that and then Summer Elgard makes it, period.
Yes. Yeah. Edelgard can finally move on from the first round. Like, that's how we're going to break the curse. Like, she just has to face against herself. Problem solved.
By herself. I think she'll be fine this time. She has Altina. Altina is a proven winner. She's won the last. She won the very first The Hero Rises. So, I think we're good.
Is she though? Like the last time the first time Summer Edelgard got in the voting gauntlet, she still lost the first round. So I'm not feeling that confident, unfortunately. But that
one didn't matter. No one cared about that one.
It's true. And they take out. Don't they take out multipliers for a hero? No, they don't take out multipliers. They still have those.
Yeah,
right. They just remove the multipliers when you have the unit itself when going into the voting gauntlet.
That's right.
Yeah. Otherwise, I guess it might be unfair. Which, fair. Speaking of HR, who do you think will place in the top 8?
I mean, the obvious one is Duochrome, right? If Duochrome doesn't make top 8, I will be completely baffled.
And I mean, Summer Edelgard's next, Veronica's next. Who else do we have? I mean, that's
Emblem probably. I assume Emblem will make it.
Both askers? Question mark?
No, not base asker wasn't in the top results until they showed top 20, so he's definitely in the bottom part of it. Yes. Same with Brave Edelgard too. So both of them are probably not going to be there. Maybe Fomortiis. I don't want to reveal my voting gauntlet because I was supposed to be going red, and I was telling everybody vote red for the Red Dream, but then secretly I'm back here it's Fomortiis. So
reveal you revealed it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Wait, did I?
Yes.
Oh, oops.
I was like, what's going on here?
I couldn't resist.
I mean, to be fair, I don't blame you. Fomortiis definitely is a very strong unit, and I definitely wouldn't mind seeing him in the HR banner. I personally just voted for all Embla because I really need to play with that save denial.
Very in character for you.
We need to have that save denial in a lot more units. It's unfair that Embla hoards it all to herself, She could be a bit more considerate and be more open, like Asker.
Gosh.
Anyways, who do you want
if you agree with DTM, we want to hear it in the comments, and if you think he's crazy, we want to hear that too. Down below. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah. Anyways, so who do you, if you had perfect control over who gets on the HR banner, who would you want to see for that banner?
I think Red Dream's probably the best like value-wise, right? So I would want like Duochrome, Summer Altina, Veronica, and I want, what's her name? Oh my god, I can't think. Ophelia. I want rearmed Ophelia. I know Embla's great, but for me, I already have one copy. That's like good enough for me. Ophelia copies is like ultra value. That's like a gold mine of fodder for your entire account. So like, oh man, if she's on that banner, I'm probably gonna go pretty hard.
I'm with you on the Ophelia love. I would love for her to make the final round. I think it would be good, just for the community. I don't think she will. Ultimately, you get down to the voting gauntlet, people vote for characters, and I don't think she really has enough pull. But I would love it if she did. Veronica is on my list. Gosh, who else? I had to pull up the results here while
yeah, because you already have a plus 10 Crom, right? So you don't need more Crom merges.
But I do actually hope he makes the final four because I think he would be such a good unit for folks to have.
Yeah.
I don't personally go hard on a Hero Rises banner. Like it's just I usually when I'm summoning for one unit. And generally because folks go so hard for color sharing, I keep in mind like if you're just summoning for one unit, then if all four are red, your rates to get that one unit are lower.
Right.
Now, and it's still good because your rates to get a 5-star are so much higher. But if you're focused on one unit, you don't get there. But I think Crom would be good for the community. I think he's a great unit to have. And I think everyone should have access to him. You know what I mean? Who's my last one? Oh man, I need Shez on this banner. Is that weird to say?
Legendary Shez?
Yeah, Legendary Shez. My dark horse, who won't make it, but I would kind of love that.
Yeah, Shez is definitely an interesting choice. Definitely a very powerful unit. I don't know if I personally would want Shez to be in the banner, but obviously it could definitely be very helpful for a lot of units, for a lot of people. Personally, for me, I would... Oh, go ahead.
All my other picks were like, good for the community stuff, and then it's Shez because I want a Shez.
Fair. Totally fair. I mean, it's the same for me. Like, I want Embla, so like, I want Embla to be on there. If I had my way, I would also had Duma, but it's unlikely he'll be on it since I don't think he was in the top 16 either. Just the top 20.
Nah, yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, Embla, Veronica. Honestly, I don't actually even want like Summer Edelgard as much as like a lot of other units because I already have her. Like one copy is all I need, honestly, for Gale forcing.
Plus 10 all the time. I want to have so much HP that I can step on the hex straps and not worry about it.
I mean, that is a valid reason to get more merges. I won't deny that. Yeah. But I think like I would like Ophelia a lot more for the same reason. She's just amazing fodder and amazing unit as well. And I guess like, again, more merges on dual Crom definitely can't hurt for me.
I cannot believe the longevity that Duo Crom has had. I honestly, we're coming up on a year, and he is still one of the most dominant forces in the meta. And it's because they keep giving him toys.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Like, not to say he wasn't a powerful unit to begin with, but they keep giving him toys.
I was thinking about Catria. It's almost been 2 years for her, and somehow she just does not die. She's just like, nope, I'm hanging in there.
Oh yeah, she's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean that's just the power of brave attacks. Like immediately doubling your attack power is just so huge. And even with Winter Cordelia, like obviously that doesn't invalidate Bridal Catria or make her obsolete in any way. So yeah, it's really great to honestly to see a lot of units having that longevity with, Yeah.
I mean, Oblivion said it in his recent video on duos and harmonics. Like, yes, Cordelia is a slightly downgraded side grade to Catria, but man, with an effect that great, like, okay, that's still amazing.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. of course, it's not just HR or CYL that has happened in the past month. We also have a very unique mythic banner, a double mythic banner with Fomortiis and Gotoh. And honestly, this came out of left field for me because I did not expect 2 mythic units in a banner outside of November. Now that both of these have been out for a while, has your impressions on these units changed in like the past week or so, and how so?
I'll go first because I know Oblivion will have a bit of a counterpoint. I'm pretty sure all of us will agree on Fomortiis. And Fomortiis, we knew he was amazing from the get-go, and I've been watching defense replays, and he's pretty phenomenal. I think Gotoh is very powerful. I am really impressed with him. I still don't think he's investment worthy, but I think he's a really fun +0 unit. And my combo of Dimitri and Gotoh, my duo tanking, I just absolutely destroyed all of Light Season this last week, and it was pretty fun. So I didn't realize that basically he has a kind of a similar effect to Shell, in that he debuffs your attack to a point where you're not hitting as hard as you thought you would. That combined with just insane damage reduction is pretty nifty.
So for me, when it comes to Gotoh, I'm pretty mixed still. Like, I think that he is good, but I'm not completely sold on him. Like, cause so what happened to me was that I was doing Ether raids, and then the first day I lost like 4 ladders because I was half asleep, and I don't know why I decided to play, but I did. And so I was in a bad spot for that week, right? I think I had 1 ladder left, and Joe was like, "Look at this Gotoh replay. He's amazing. He's the best unit ever." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. let's try him out. Why not, right?" So I have him with Brave Dimitri, and I'm like, I'm gonna let Gotoh tank this, and he gets 1 shot by Duocrom, and I'm like, well, there goes that ladder. I'm like, you're going back to the bench. Like, I don't know what happened to him. Maybe it's because mine's kind of highly merged because of going for Fomortiis so hard. Mm-hmm. But he got hit by Unity buffs, I think, and it just completely crippled him. Like, he just got completely destroyed. Also, he was up against a +10 Duocrom, so maybe that too. But maybe it's a combination of both. I don't know. But he just got instantly dead-eyed to the face and just exploded in pieces.
He is very susceptible to debuffs. That is a thing. I paired him with Bridal Fjorm, and we just kind of edge out Emblem teams to start the week with. And then Peony happened, and I was like, okay, this is great.
Right. Peony definitely helped. But yeah, so I'm like okay on him. One thing I did do though is I got to use his AoE buff he gives out to Dimitri, and that made Dimitri so much more powerful because I ran into a triple AoE team, and he just ate them all like it was nothing. Like, it was like Harmonic Sonya, Thor, and Hatari Carla. I haven't seen her on defense in I don't know how long, but she was there.
Wow.
And he just ate them like it was nothing. It was just like they did no damage to him. So that was pretty nifty.
Yeah, like at least. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I mean, at least for me, like, personally, I don't have either Fomortiis or Gotoh, so I can't really speak from my experience. But honestly, I haven't really seen a lot of Fomortises or Gotoh in Ether raids, at least either in my replays or on like Astra Anima season that's currently going on. So unfortunately, I don't have like the best experience for that. Now, I did see Fomortiis in Summoners Duels, and I think that is where like he is like sort of insane, because if you don't bypass that with like a melee nuke, you have to be able to one-shot him, which is a lot easier said than done, or you just like completely destroy your action economy on that turn. And so like that is where I've mainly seen the impact of Fomortiis have on the meta, so to speak. Gotoh though, I have not seen like at all. I do know about the replay, and I know there are
the replay.
And I know like there are people that are like showing him off a lot and like pushing him, but I just have not seen him at all. So I think it's safe to say Fomortiis is probably the star of this show when it comes to this banner.
Oh, 100%. That's the thing with Gotoh is he's better than you think he is. And that was, for most people, that was pretty low. So, but I'll have to send you some of Tyrion's replays. I should have used those in the meta report, but he's of course got a +10 and just sets this unit out in the middle of nowhere. He just absorbs Embla's attacks, and everyone else just pings off of him. It's the wildest thing.
I think that's the thing too. Is like, because he's pretty much Mage Brave Ike, right? But the thing is, he has stats where Brave Ike does not. Brave Ike's a Gen 1 unit, right? He does not have good defensive res. Well, Gotoh has like 50 or 60, so he's just chilling. So he definitely does seem like he can work. I just have to make him play them a little bit more and figure him out.
I will say, on a Fomortiis, I think I ran into some of them on Anima defenses, and so far, like, most of those defenses, I don't think really change, depending on whether or not they had Fomortiis or not, mainly because of, like, Gale Force and Bolt Tower, which I think just, like, cripples a lot of the teams that you would probably want to include him on, because presumably, you know, Fomortiis' strength is that you can shut down Gale Force teams when they try to initiate onto you. Unfortunately, like, we don't have a Medius in Anima and Astra, so it's very easy to get, like, Bolt Towered. So yeah, that's something I noticed.
Curse you, Bolt Tower!
All my losses are always Bolt Tower. Anytime I see one, I'm like, okay, I already know what happened.
But honestly, I think Bolt Tower is a lot higher value of a structure than Safe Defense these days, at least in Astra Anima.
Yeah.
Like,
100%, yes.
From my experience with Fomortiis so far, I've seen him in a lot of replays, or like a lot of Anima defenses I've been up against, and a lot of people don't change his base kit, and I don't think he does well without changing his base kit, in my opinion. Also, I think the one time I ran into him as a near save, he was really scary, because what you essentially do is you run him near save, right? You give him Deflect Melee, you give him Hardy Fighter and Pavis, and it's just really hard to kill him, because he has 30% damage reduction against the first hit, he has Pavis on the first hit, right, with Hardy Fighter, then he gets the 80% on the second hit, and as a melee unit, like, who really can get through damage reduction like that? So far in my experience, the only person that could use to kill him was Altina. That was like the only person. And that's not me trying to flex Altina, that's just saying because she has damage piercing.
No, that is wild. Like, that is 100% true. I could not believe that Altina is the answer to Fomortiis. Like, that is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, she just has, like, the exact combination you need. She has special charge to get over his guard, and she has, like, the damage reduction negation special that can get through that insane 80% damage reduction. So it's just all these effects coming together to be able to do that, which I think is really neat. Yeah, it's Altina.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I also feel for that defense owner who created this. Is like, finally, I have the last piece that I need. Fomortiis. No, not Oblivion, no!
Oh, man. I ran into one of our friends, Lord Luck's defense, like the first match of this week. And I was like, oh, are you safe? Like, are you immune? He's like, yeah, I'm immune, go for it. He's like, but how are you going to beat it? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't rebless my Gale Force team because I'm stupid. And then I was like, oh, I can just Altina it. And I just had Altina just wipe the team. And I was like, oh, that feels pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not only like Fomortiis being super popular. I think this banner also did very well as well. I think from the data we've had, it is the best selling mythic banner since Dagger, I believe. Which,
wow.
Yeah, it's honestly super huge. And hopefully this encourages, like, intelligent systems to, you know, do more of these type of banners and, like, vary some of the unit choices. And I guess in hindsight, it makes sense that, like, having 2 stars, quote unquote, would do better than just having 1 star. But I think this could be a future path forward for, like, mythic banners and things like that.
I mean, I definitely contributed to those sales. I couldn't resist. I mean, that was like the dream. Like, Gotoh being there was cool, but like Fomortiis actually being in the game and looking that good was just like, take my money.
The art is phenomenal.
It is so good.
It's really good. Like, that is top tier art right there.
But yeah. Obviously, it was not just the double mythic banners we've gotten recently. We also got the Valentine's banner, which was extremely hyped, mainly due to its implications on improving healers. And we've got finally an offensive healer special in Holy Pressure. We've got Wrathful Staff 4, aka Poetic Justice. And hopefully this is like a trend that will continue. But I guess to start off, what are your thoughts on Holy Pressure, and does this actually help out healers that we hoped offensive specials for healers would?
You know why it's not helping healers at all? Because no one is summoning on this banner. It's wild. Like, everyone looked at this banner and they're like, skip. I don't remember the last time the Valentine's banner was this bad. Like, I mean, in terms of sales, not in terms of what they gave us. But I'm very surprised. As far as does this help healers, I've seen a whole bunch of analysis on this, and does it really help healers that aren't named Elise?
Probably not, honestly. The
thing is the 3 cooldown special.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need that arcane staff, which I think, if it comes on the next banner, that makes sense right there. Marketing geniuses, let's make that money. Put some sledding on it, and it's going to be a lot better, especially on infantry who can run time spools, right? Then you actually have it at 1 and you can get it off. But yeah, 3 cooldown's kind of brutal for sure. I don't know why. Well, maybe because of the arcane staff, but other than that, I don't know why they exactly went for 3 cooldown.
I'm with you. It's got to be a staff next. And they're trying to print money.
Yeah, like, Holy Pressure just has too high of a cooldown for most healers to use, and like, it's not. I mean, having an offensive special is nice, but it's not something like Deadeye or Lethality that can get through a lot of the damage reductions we've had currently, and so I'm unsure of how like this actually improves like the offensive power of healers. On this banner's performance financially wise, I believe it's just like a tier below like the Fomortiis and Gotoh's banner. But I think a part of the reason is that just compared to previous Valentine's banner, I don't think this banner was as meta impactful as before. Because before, like, obviously, if we think dual leaf and the introduction of saves, and then we obviously had like dual Crom, I don't think any of these units will make a meta impact like the previous 2 did, even with all this new stuff for healers. So yeah, that's probably the reason why not a lot of people were excited for this. I personally was really excited because like Talk to Me and Leo finally getting ults was amazing, but yeah, I guess that is just what it is.
Yeah,
I have this feeling like Leo is really good.
He is. He's secretly good. Like, I didn't pull on this banner. I know people were laughing at me when I said I wasn't gonna pull. I saw the comments. I didn't pull. I controlled myself. But I think Leo is actually good because like the fact that you can gravity at the beginning of the turn and at the end of the turn is kind of stupid. Like, that's some like hit and run potential. Like in writing, right? Like, you see that, and that's just like, hey, I'm shutting down person after person, like exactly getting to choose what matchups I want to deal with.
Yeah, like, it's basically serves a similar role, at least for me, when I envisioned this, to Sather, except you can use Leo in like so many different seasons, and you can gravity 2 units a lot more consistently than, I guess, trying to align the cardinal directions for Sather. And obviously you don't have like the diminishing res checks when it comes to like the distance between Leo versus like Sather. And obviously gravity is not the same as ending in a unit's turn, but it makes it so much easier and a lot more consistent to get out of the way if you're not able to trap a unit, especially if they're melee, which most of the time if you need to use Leo, it's mainly because, you know, there's a bunch of melee units and you can't trap any of the ranged units. And so, yeah, just the utility of Leo provides, at least when it comes to Gale Force, is super exciting, honestly.
He's a really neat unit.
but it doesn't hit only the first opponent in like the cardinal direction, right? It hits everybody in the cardinal direction, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So you can get like 4 people. Like that's so annoying.
Yeah.
I haven't ran into it. One unit I have ran into though is Duo Elise. I have ran into her I think yesterday morning and I lost. So that was my only experience with her so far. The funny thing is that I thought I was being a big brain, and I go in with Altina and I'm like, okay, I just have to use Sather to turn off Elise, and then GG, I win. Mm-hmm. And then I just was dumb and didn't remember that she could just get danced. So she got danced, and then she hit Altina with that flash. She didn't kill Altina. She didn't do that much damage, which was kind of surprising. But the rest of the team just bullied her after that because she couldn't attack back.
Yeah, like flash stabs are back apparently, and
oh great.
like flash has always been such a good skill. It's just that a lot of the current meta doesn't leave a lot of room for it, but if we can get a powerful enough unit to apply that flash effect, then obviously like they could probably fit that on a Catria ball or some other type of team very well. And I don't know if I want to return to that meta, because that could also herald the return to Cav lines, which I just cannot deal with. But yeah, it's exciting to see like healers at the very least getting a little boost, if not a big boost. So we haven't even talked about Poetic Justice yet, but Wrathful Staff 4 with true damage is pretty good. Not gonna lie.
It is, and I still use Ascendant Fjorm in Anima Astra season, so I'm not too worried about this unit. I also have Winter Altina, who has Null Counter Disrupt, but I think I am in the minority on both of those. And I think on defense, I think she's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yes. Something interesting to consider is that they didn't call this Wrathful Staff 4. They call it Poetic Justice. I wonder if this means that we might get like other Wrathful Staff 4 skills that have like other effects other than true damage. It could be a possibility.
We're definitely getting Dazzling 4, right? Which is gonna maybe could have a different effect on it. So that'll be interesting.
That's really interesting. So you're thinking there might be like a family of staff skills in the Wrathful configuration.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because why wouldn't they just call it Wrathful Staff 4? Maybe this is because, like the line of beast skills or the line of dragon skills we've gotten recently, maybe there will be a line of healer skills to hopefully give healers a bunch of different effects other than just Wrathful or Dazzling. Like, one could be like Wrathful plus true damage, one could be Wrathful plus, I don't know, like Guard or something, or Trace, maybe. Like, there's a lot of combinations that IS could do that I think would be really fun to play with for healers.
That's neat. I'll be anxious to see if that works that way. That's a really interesting idea, though.
Yeah, like hopefully they do that, because I do hope this is like just the beginning of healer buffs, because healers might need a bit more to enter into the meta besides just like Dual Elise, I guess.
I did hear some folks on just some mad copium who were like, you know what this means? Staff refines.
Oh yeah. I saw people saying that too, and I'm like, I don't think that's happening.
No, I think they consider the Wrathful Dazzling thing staff refines. Like I think for them that's what that was.
Right. Anyways, moving on. Hopefully we get more healer buffs later, but we've also gotten buffs for a new slate of units as per the usual refined cadence, including Thrasir and Peony, which I think personally got pretty good buffs. Thrasir with the exposure and Peony with the penalty neutralization, although we just obviously like you need to make sure Yune is dealt with by not having any units within like 2 spaces of your tank or whatnot, because unfortunately we just found out that Peony's penalty neutralization only happens when the unit itself is in combat and not to like allies or anything like that, which is a bit of a shame, honestly. But
honestly, that does like suck a lot. I don't know why, because it doesn't say that. It should say that. Like it should say in combat, because it could have been stronger, I guess is the best way to put it. Also, her refine itself was not great. I feel like they could have definitely made it so that instead of her healing after combat when she does combat, like if she's in a cardinal direction, the units that after combat get healed. That way she offers healing support. That would have been cool, but instead they just gave her, a combat refine for some reason.
Yeah, it was pretty tame, but I mean it's still a good enough refine though for her to increase in value.
Yeah,
I mean, getting rid of debuffs is a huge thing for units like Dimitri. It is finally okay to run to just go all out and run a finish skill on him. For instance, you don't have to be stuck to just Unity.
Yeah, that's true. And like,
just need a attack defense finish now.
And like, Peony wasn't even like bad or anything. In fact, like she was probably the top light mythic in the game, even before this remix and refine. The only downside to her would be that she didn't give you the 7th slot. But honestly, like, if that's the only downside for a unit, that unit's pretty good as a light mythic, if I do say so myself. So yeah, I don't know if anything would be able to power creep Peony unless they literally add in another dancer that has like an orders buff, except it's within 2 spaces instead of just adjacent.
Okay, but that brings me to my question. When are they adding another dancer?
I mean, they could do that. I don't know if they will, just because it seemed like they had like a whole theme about it for that, that book. But they could do that, like, because I don't know what Saint's sister name is, but is she a cav?
Aether?
I can see them doing like a mythic cav dancer. Like maybe they do that. That would be different and strong still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is definitely a possibility. I mean, I don't think it's. I mean, I guess thematically it could also work because, the general aesthetic and vibes are similar. But I think like book 4 was mainly just to introduce dancers to all of the seasons, gameplay wise, and so like IS is probably like mission accomplished and just left it at that.
What? Okay, I just thought something crazy. So you know how like the whole concept of this book is time, right? What if they made a 3 movements, a cav dancer, right? And then she also had Canto Recall. So after you danced, she could Canto Recall all the way out.
That
would be super interesting.
It really would be.
Cool.
Yeah, that would be like hit and run extreme.
Yeah.
You could just go in, get danced, that dancer goes back, and then you go back, and that would actually be kind of insane and super fun.
Yeah. So there's a member of the Discord, FJ, who has been talking for a while about how in light season, hit and run is the strategy. Like it's what you should be going to, and it's what IS has been positioning for, and people just haven't realized it yet. It's an interesting thought, and he's way better at hit and run than most people, so he may be a little bit skewed. but to his point, I mean, especially seeing Leo, if they continue to keep giving out skills that help hit and run teams, that would fit with that team as well. But mostly, I just want to see more units with Canto Recall because it is such a neat mechanic.
It's very strong, yeah. This is all the Cantos. They add all those cool Cantos on the Thief banner, and then we haven't seen them since.
Nope.
It's kind of disappointing because they were really cool, and I think there's like more room to explore with those different types of Canto.
Yeah, like maybe the Thief banner returns and we get like another set of Canto. But personally, I would just rather them have those like more unique Cantos on other units with other banners and just allow that to like spread rather than just like limit that particular gameplay mechanic to a particular theme. Even though like thematically it makes sense, but it doesn't have to be. But yeah, we haven't actually talked about Thrasir that much. How do you think Thrasir fares now with her new remix and refine in Anima season?
The funny thing to me is, right, is we were like clamoring for Anima season mythics, right, like super bad. And then we got Arvel, and I'm kind of like, you know what? We're kind of good. Like, I don't know. Like, I have a highly merged Thrasir, but I think I'm only going to use her in bonus season. And it's not because she's bad or anything. It's just like, I think Arvel's just better, right? I think the support Arvel offers is more damning to a team than Exposure is. Like, Exposure is obviously going to be better against, like, tank teams. But, like, Inflicting Guard also just screws up so much stuff. It, like, screws up Gale Forces, but it also screws up, like, specials, right? Because a lot of times tanks are reliant on specials to either secure kills or to heal. And just having Guard there is, like, super annoying for the team. And then we also got Fomortiis, right? So, like, Fomortiis is a great save, especially as near save, I'd say. Like, he's great there. And then we have Mirablis as a dancer. So, like, for me, it's just kind of difficult to fit Thrasir in there because of how defensive scoring works, right? You can't have too many defensive mythics. So, I think she's good. Like, don't get me wrong. I think she's a really, really great refine and remix. I just don't know where to put her.
I couldn't have said it better. I mean, 100%. The worst part about her is that she's not Arvel. And that's a little sad to me because but yeah, Arvel, exactly what you said. He's good against a range of different teams. Whether you're a hit and run team, whether you're a Gale Force team, whether you're a tank team, Arvel is something you have to account for. Whereas Thrasir, if you're a tank team, you have to account for her. But otherwise, I mean, let's face it, DTM is just stomping all over your Thrasir. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah, no mercy for me, Thrasir. Like, it's over. Yeah, I think I agree. Like, Thrasir obviously got a really huge boost with that. But, like, we've actually gotten pretty good anima mythics these days. So it is hard to find a place for her. Although, like, obviously there's nothing against putting both Arvel, Thrasir, and Mirablis on your team if you don't have, like, Fomortiis or just have other saves you want to use. But, like, other than that specific combination in a Catria ball, yeah, it's really hard to find a place for Thrasir, unfortunately. At least where we are currently in the AR meta.
The other thing is she's so reliant on speed, and we are in the middle of just an insane amount of speed creep. It is, we are nutty right now. Like, what is a fast unit? Like, what do you guys consider a fast unit? Do you have to have an effective over 70?
At least.
Something
at least
like that,
70.
yeah.
If you don't have 70, you're slow. You're slow at 70. Like, like, you gotta be like 75, insane. 80. Yeah, it's stupid. It's really annoying because they just start handing out free stats even more. They were already like think about it, right? At one point, we had refines where it was like, you got plus $5 stats. That was a good refine. That was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Then it became normal, right? So plus $5 stats is normal. Now we're at like, hey, you need more than plus $5 stats. You need like minus 10 attack and speed for no reason. Like, it's just, it's annoying.
Yeah, and of course, we can't forget the biggest offender when it comes to stat. That is self-improver on Alfred. Although, honestly, I haven't seen like Alfred at all. I've just seen him as like arcane lance fodder.
I have a story. Okay, so today I was playing Ether Raids and I ran into a 72 defense Alfred and I was just like, oh, that looks kind of scary. And I put Altina out there. Oh, it wasn't scary at all. She just died. Like, okay. I don't know. That unit is just he is fodder for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and the skill is ridiculous, and I don't like the precedent that it sets. But we've seen this for a long time now. Like, stats aren't where it's at. Like, effects is where you want to be. I mean, look at how much Brave Dimitri, how much res does he have? What is it, base like 20 or something? It's ridiculously low, and still as fantastic as a tank.
Right. And
I think I agree and disagree at the same time though. Like, because the thing is, like, stats are important now. Like, not to an extent, right? Especially because of speed, I think. Because so many matchups come down to speed. And I think that's why Brave Erica fell off so hard. It wasn't because she has bad effects. She has really good effects still, right? She can still blow people up. It's just she doesn't have the speed to double. And if she doesn't double, then she's not getting her special off typically. Or she's getting her special off, but she gave up her seal slot for quick impulse. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of a mixture of both, and I'm kind of afraid to see where they go if they're going to keep pushing stats this hard. We're like, like, look at Alir. Like, how many free stats does she get? That's just stupid.
I don't know, but I love that unit.
I wish I had her so much.
She's so much fun. Oh my gosh. And it's just a range of different roles. She is so much fun.
What have you been using Elise for in your teams, Joel?
So I used her in SD, and I paired her up with Tana. And so I just some crazy shenanigans with that. And I think she is really good paired with a flyer. And folks just kind of ignored that when she first came out. They were thinking infantry, but flyers really love that 3 movement. I've been using her oh my gosh. Okay, this is embarrassing for me. I'm going to say it anyway. So I totally spaced out and built an Elise team for day 1 of Aether Raids and forgot to put distant counter on her. Boldly stuck her out in front of this like defense that just and so you know what happened? Ting 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 ting, and then I had to figure out how to kill all these units, and that was my problem. But I mean, it's bonus season, so I mean, she just has insane stats and insane damage reduction and just so much fun. And I put at that point, you summon her supporter with a dancer, and the dancer just follows her around. Basically, I love the mechanic. I think the mechanic is fantastic.
I mean, the thing is, right? Like, Assault Troop was fun the second we got it. It was just like it was so limited because it was only on Summer Elgard, and like, who is the person who wants to kill a Summer Elgard to have fun? Like, there are people who did it, but I'm not one of them.
Yeah, because like Summer Edelgard was like one of the best users of Assault Troop anyways, so like there wasn't really a better option to inherit Assault Troop on. But now with Elise, like obviously that doesn't matter. You just get 1 copy and you're good to go. And so many creative strategies, units, builds, etc. just became unlocked with that. And that is amazing. And I really wish... I really hope that... I don't hope that Elise will make HR. I really hope that's not the case. But, you know, engage, rerun banner, Twitter. Let's do it.
Well, that'll definitely happen. I can't see that not happening.
For sure. I mean, I've said for sure a lot of things and they haven't happened, but I'm like 99% sure this will.
I mean, I was sure that Ash would get a rerun, and look where that came up.
Oh man, I whiffed on that one too. I was positive she was going to get a rerun.
Speaking of things you were sure of, Joel, you called some arena changes.
Oh,
those definitely did happen. So you know you do have a good track record.
I don't know what. I swear to God, they watched that arena video. Now, what I didn't tell them to do was to freaking tie it to bonus legendaries. Oh my God.
Yes, let's talk about that.
What are you doing? Why?
That was such a bad change. Like, arena was becoming fun again. Scores were getting lower. And now, all of a sudden, people with bonus units, and of course, it's Dimitri first. So, of course, there's a bunch of plus 10 Dimitri users out there having fun. But obviously, that ruins the fun for the rest of us. Like, scores are climbing again. Like, we were on a good track record. I don't understand why they did that. Well, I probably do understand, but I don't understand from like a game mechanic, gameplay wise perspective why they would do that.
Oh, I don't know that the ramifications are insane. So it is. I've been doing a lot of math and I'm not positive on this because this is very early. I honestly don't think you should ever plus 10 a legendary if you're just talking about account progression. I think that is a thing of the past. Think about this. So what I hadn't taken into account that for every 1 mythic month, there are 2 legendary months. And that's been a pattern since October 21. So for 3/4 of the time, the bonus unit for a month is going to be whatever new legendary pops up. So we're not even going to see these, like this whole Dimitri thing, we're not even going to see that a whole bunch. Like that is, it isn't going to happen very often. But you are definitely going to see folks who go in and grab a single copy of a legendary and use that as a bonus for a month, and you have enough of a score, you have enough score bots in the background, you're doing just fine.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I wasn't a fan when they announced it. I was pissed off, and I'm still pissed off. I think it's stupid. Like, currently my arena score right now is 3940. I don't know the last time. I don't know if I've ever gotten over 3,900. That's crazy. And the thing is, I'm not even top ranked. I'm like ranked like 200 or something like that. Like that just blows my mind that the scores can get that high that quickly.
Yeah, like
we're the highest it's ever been. Like 3,900 is most likely the threshold.
That's so dumb.
Insane.
That's so dumb. Oh my god.
And I don't know, like obviously they want to encourage, I guess, people to have a wide variety of legendaries because I guess people just stuck with their 3, maybe 4 legendary core and called it a day. But I think this is like super unhealthy for Arena. Like it's not going to make people want to play Arena, which will lose the motivation of needing to get all these legendaries in the first place. And like I'm going to admit, like for the longest time, like I already gave up on maintaining tier 21, but now like with this change, I don't even know if it's possible for like F2P players to be able to maintain tier 21. Like
it is, and it costs 2,600 orbs a year.
Oh, yeah. So most of your yearly income.
Keep in mind, you get 3,600, and so you have 1,000 other orbs to play around with. But it costs about, and what that cost entails is you have to buy a new duo every 2 years, and you have to summon on every legendary banner and get a +0.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my gosh,
hope that you don't get so unlucky that you spend like 1,000 orbs just for one.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've all. I definitely know that's a possibility. So that's.
Yep, I've done that. I mean, I just don't like either of these. Like this and the Ether Raids change as well, right? They've changed it so that the new Mythic is the bonus unit for a month, and I hate that. I know for people who are like playing with +0 Mythics, like they don't care. They just play the new Mythic and they're like, okay, whatever, right? But for the whales like me, or like people who have invested into Ether Raids, right? Not the Leviathans, because the Leviathans just go out and get the new +10, they don't give a crap. But for like the whales and the people who have invested in Ether Raids, it makes it more difficult to build a team, because you can't use a +0 Mythic. You just can't put them into your team. You have to put them in the 6th slot, so they aren't actually affecting your score. So if you put them in the team, they bomb your score super hard. So it's like making other Mythics less valuable, in my opinion, which I don't like. I don't like it at all. I really don't like that. I think it's dumb.
The AR change I don't mind as much because, you know, it's not like you have to run the bonus Mythic. You could just run one of the Asker trios or, I guess, one of the free-to-play options and just work with that and still, like, do well. So it's not as necessary to have, like, a new, good, highly merged new Mythic unit. And at least for me, like, I obviously don't have all of the Mythics. I barely have any, so, like, it doesn't really impact me as much. But, like, it's definitely super annoying because Anna is just not it as a unit.
But that's the thing. You have been using Anna for a while now. We haven't had to do that, and so we're being thrust down into a position to have to use
join
those
us
bonus
F2P
units
players. Experience our pain.
I think the other thing is like, at least I know for Joel for sure, but like for me as well, I'm at like 26 or 27 merges. So I'm almost at rank 1 scoring in both seasons. So like I'm playing usually against like very well invested teams. A lot of times they're all +10. So like that extra team slot's kind of a big deal, because when I'm gale forcing, I don't want to bring Anna because she's not killing anything, right? That's like it can really like hamper the entire team by having a bad member on there.
So I God help me for the whatever this rains down on me. I actually caught a piece of an Acura stream, and he was talking about how Anna was good because she was the only unit that could attack Peony twice and didn't kill her in one turn, and so you get Gale Force off. And I was like, my dude, no, that is not the praise that you think it is.
That is like the copium angle. Like Anna doesn't do
so much damage, so that means she can double and get Gale Force off. Let's go.
Oh man.
On Peony. I just that made me laugh really hard. I was I mean we've all been there, trying to defend our strategies and such. But
I mean like at least for me, like Anna is just a smite bot. Like full stop.
Yeah.
And sometimes that is just enough. That's all she needs to do. And we're fine. As long as you don't put too much expectations on her, that's fine.
Yeah. I think what makes it brutal for me is that I have had horrible luck with Peony, so I just don't have Peony for light season. Like, it's just not a unit I can use. And so I have to use Air. Air is the smite bot. That's her job. She sits there with Tamari, she helps with some attack and speed, and she smites. That's her job. That's it. So, like, having another unit whose job is just to sit next to Air and smile, like, you're just like, ugh.
All right, Oblivion.
Yeah.
You know what's coming.
Oh, God.
The remix banner for Peony.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It came at a horrible time, though, because I just spent, like, 1,500 orbs on Fomortiis.
Oh.
1,500 orbs I bought. Not saved orbs. I bought those orbs. So it's like, oh, ouch.
That was a lot more painful than I thought it would be, honestly. But
it was really bad. It was, yeah. The video is not even as bad as it got. I got to 12% like 2 times, and I got to 10% one time after that. And I got like Arvel like both times.
I refuse to touch that banner again.
Yeah,
man. That 15.5 was just too much for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Arvel's at +9 now. So
hey, defense loss reduction. Let's go.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
okay, but so honestly, the tier 21 stuff, that affects literally about 2,000 players. Counting like the ones that are in tier 21 and the ones that are trying to get in. For the rest of the folks, for the lower stuff, the thing that frustrates me looking at the numbers is we had so many gains from that. They changed the thresholds, and so more players would get into the upper tiers. And then they added in these tickets, and so even more players started playing. Mm-hmm. And so the thresholds were climbing down. It was really nice. They have basically gone right back to where they were. Like, that is, like, it's funny how, it's like they planned it to just go right back, which is infuriating to me. Like, it's way too convenient. I wish I could show you guys the chart right now, but it's like flat, flat, flat. Good changes, goes down, bing, right back up. I don't know. Infuriating. Why would they do this?
The thing that makes me so mad is that we've been complaining about fishing for like how many years now? And we finally get the fishing change, and it's tied to bonus legendaries of all things. It's just like, you could have just fixed fishing. Like, you could have just done it and made it a better game mode for everybody.
Yeah, like it would be like if you tied fishing to Fey Pass or something. Like, it's just
God. Stop DTM, stop.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, I spoke that into existence. Sorry.
Okay, honest to God, I've been thinking a lot about this. I would have been fine if they would have tied it to the GHB. And the thing there is, it's harder, right? Because GHBs just aren't as good as the other units. And so they're rewarding you for taking a harder route. And I'm like, okay, this is something that I could have gotten on board with. But not the bonus legendary. That's rough.
I mean, we know why they didn't do it on the GHB. It's because GHBs are free. You could just use Grails on them.
Exactly.
There's so many better ways to make money, though. Like, there's so much money left on the table with Faye that they can make with my evil plans that they just don't do. It's not even scummy. It's just, it's just a little bit manipulative, that's all.
Here's my concern, is I think they are trying to replicate a similar thing that they have with Summoner Duels, where the meta is constantly changing because you've got new units that they've got people summoning for, and it is more beneficial in SD to have those +0s +1s than it is to have the merged ones, because it changes so fast. And I feel like they're trying to catch a little bit of that. So I'm like, no, why would you? That didn't go well for you.
Exactly. Like, why would you copy the game mode that is failing right now? That is dying. Do not copy the thing that was doing bad. Copy the things that were doing well.
Yeah, like we were in a good run. Don't ruin that. Like, you didn't need to do anything. But
oh my gosh.
I mean, I will say, like, I don't mind if like they made Arena like less reliant on like having plus 10 units, but this is not the way to do it. The way to do it would be to like change the scoring system, or like just get rid of fishing for everyone, or make it so merges are less impactful, or I don't know. There's so many ways they could like manipulate the scoring system to like just make it better for everyone, and you know, make people want to invest into Arena, you know, spend orbs for Arena. And
so the one thing that I'll have to say is that they picked the absolute worst stretch to make this thing happen, because we've got Dimitri and very popular legendary who is on both a Hero Rises and on a Hero Fest, and he's Dimitri. Like this, and next we have Byleth, who is going to be just as insane. Like so, we don't really know how this is going to pan out, but most likely the tier 20.5 stuff will go down a bit, and so it won't be as bad as before. It just won't be as good as the gains that we just got. Tier 21, I have no idea. My guess is that it does come down by probably a bin, but I don't know that. I still think it's going to be very, very difficult unless you're just summoning for every single legendary.
I mean, yeah, time will tell. I'm personally not that optimistic, but I mean, this makes me less want to get into Arena less, so I guess congrats, I guess.
Stupid.
Yeah. I mean, the scoring system wasn't even like my main issue with Arena. It was that you can't run like repositional skills or like have fun in Arena. But like this just makes it worse. Like I'm a positional person, so like I like mobility, I like fun, and like the scoring system right now, I think they really need to change it. So either like SP doesn't count towards the score or something. Like, obviously, I don't think they're going to revert the bonus unit, so the bonus... I can't speak today. The bonus legendary unit changed because they just introduced it, and IS, I don't think will roll it back, at least not soon.
No, they won't.
Yeah. So I guess, moving forward, what do you think IS will do if they think that they had made a mistake with doing this?
Safety
I know
fence?
exactly what what they're going to do is they're going to bring back the cheerleader meta to make us hate them more.
Do you guys remember the safety fence was done so quickly after Legendary Sigurd? It was like just an absolute panic. Like, oh my God, what have we done? Here's a structure to freeze out everyone.
Like, here's Legendary Sigurd, and I was like, horrible. And like, here's not. Like, okay, we can't do this anymore. Everybody's quitting the game. Like, just gotta bring this up.
Okay, honest to God, here's what they could do. There's two routes, right? One is they could just flat out give us better GHBs with higher scoring, and that would actually help the situation quite a bit. And the other is, and I like this less, but oh God, is it time to do new dual skills? Is that what this is really building towards?
No.
I don't know. Anyway, if they made dual skills better, that's another way that they could start to remedy the situation. Because if all of your other units score better, then it's easier to not have the bonus legendary. But still, I mean, I don't know. It's fixing a problem that they already fixed and then broke. So it's really frustrating.
I hate dual skills. I hate dual skills so much.
They're terrible.
It makes you
Except on
spend
dancers.
orbs to fix their problem. And it's not even a good fix to the problem. Like,
DTM, was it you who said that dual skills were actually really good if they were just more common? Because there are a lot of units that benefit from the HP and then the 2 to all stats. But
if you don't
exactly
remember, like what I said about dual skills, like on the top of my head. But I will say that it would be better if like dual skills were more common, so that people could just use them more. But like
they're not good in arena. So, but they're actually have some uses elsewhere.
Yeah, like
exactly.
Yeah, like I don't know, anyone that wants like more HP, like Raphael or like Sun Panic or even Pulse Tempest users or anything like that. Like there's actually a lot of units that would appreciate like dual skills for the HP and stats that they give. It's just that they're tied to, you know, 5-star exclusives or legendary units or mythic units, and that just means it's just way too expensive to justify going for those, and when you could just slap HP 5 on them.
And most of them are seasonally locked. Like they're really difficult skills to get.
Yeah.
But I love them on dancers. I think they really benefit from those.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, the last time dual skills got updated was like 2 years ago, right? On the Easter banner, I believe. With like Severa and Inigo, I think.
We're due.
Yeah, so I guess look out for the next spring banner, everyone.
No. I'll cry. I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with it. Like, especially because they don't give full score to legendaries and mythics. I hate it.
Yeah.
Like, just give me full score. Like, why screw over Ike? Ike's already screwing himself over with his refine. Stop it.
Yeah.
So the biggest losers unit-wise from all of this are old legendaries, because they just don't score enough now. I hate it. I hate a lot about this. Like the reason I hate it so much is because they gave us exactly what they wanted, and they tacked on something that was just terrible. It's like when Congress passes a really great bill and they sneak in a pay raise. You know, it's like, wait a second.
Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess Rip Arena for the time being. Of course, like Arena wasn't the only change that they announced in the Anniversary FEH Channel. We also got a nice little change to summoning as well, in addition to all the demotes and now splitting remixes into 2 banners. We also got the new focus charge mechanic, which it's a mostly positive change, I would say. Have you ran into a situation where you've used the focus charge yet, or like what is your thoughts on that?
I haven't. I didn't summon. I think it's only available on the Valentine's banner, right?
I believe so far, yeah. So, yeah.
I watched Rocket Gal did a really cool summoning session where she went for +10 Takumi, and she hit it twice, and it didn't help her get Takumis, but it did help her get focus units. So, I mean, there's something. That's something, right? I mean, it's a positive change, right? It's a positive change. It's going to help people who are going for big summons. It's not going to help you in your Spark. Typically, if it does help you in your Spark, like, I mean, that's kind of good, I guess. But
I mean,
it's not
it just means you're super lucky, honestly.
Yeah, it means you got 3 5-stars before Spark. So.
Yeah.
How many orbs do you think on average you have to use to really take advantage of that? Is it like in the 300 range?
Yeah, I'd say like 300 plus. Yeah.
I think it's more like 500 or something like that, 500 plus. So realistically, because on average, like you get like the pity breakers half the time and the focus unit half the time. So if each quote unquote 5-star is around 100 orbs, then yeah, on average, I think around 500 is where it will actually kick in.
Dang, DTM dropping the math here. So I guess the point there is this is something that the community is really hyped about that is kind of smoke and mirrors. And the biggest folks that benefit from this are whales.
Yep,
definitely. Hey.
So I mean, it's really neat. I enjoy it. I think it's a neat thing. It also helps savers. So if you're, God bless you if you're one of the savers out there, DTM, I know you're one of them.
Yep, rise up.
So for big summoning sessions, I think this is really fun. Just for you folks out there who are wondering about it, it won't really help you for the smaller sessions.
Right. Like the way I'd like to think about it, it's like a sort of upgraded version of the increasing pity rate. Like obviously every percentage matters to a certain extent, and having more and more pity does, statistically wise, make a difference. But for the vast majority of the time, I think it's just there to like get people to continue summoning, and that's
exactly
and that's like the one issue I have with that, is that it's just pure bait, plain and simple, just like pity rates for the vast majority of summons.
It's a little bit predatory.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess for the savers or the whales, it's nice. So we got that going for ourselves.
I mean, that covers everyone on this discussion.
Exactly. We're the only people that matter, so it's a good change. Let's go. But yeah, overall, this has been a very fruitful discussion. It is like over an hour. So are there any other topics or final thoughts that we want to discuss before we end it off?
Oh, there's one thing I want to talk about. So Engage came out. I don't want to talk about Engage the game, but Engage in FEH.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that we are just going to get slammed with Engage banners? Do you expect like the next new heroes like to be Engage, and then the one after that possibly too? Or do you think they're going to kind of take a like slow roll?
I think they're going to take the Three Houses route, in that the new heroes banner, they're going to like space them out a lot in order to like keep the pool open for more and more heroes to get in over a longer period of time. But for like special heroes or the special heroes banners, I can see them having a lot of popular units on there, and just like Three Houses, like I guess dominate that.
You said it exactly like I would. That was exactly what I was going to say. I completely agree. We'll see. The biggest thing is what comes for summer.
I mean, there's no way we don't get summer Engage. I just like it's gonna be for sure. Like there's absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one
of our 7 banners will be Engage.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they won't have the lords for the summer, because they did wait for that on Three Houses. But I can see like Unaka getting in or something like that.
Because they like money.
Give
Exactly.
me Summer Citrine. I'll roll for that.
I mean, same. I would roll. But yeah, honestly, on the topic of Engage in FEH, like, it's likely we might get a new Heroes banner coming up that will be Engage units. What units do we want to see on that? Potentially.
I thought that's a difficult one, because there's a lot of characters I like and that I want in FEH. But I also don't want to spend orbs. So I kind of hope it's like Hortensia, because I don't like her, so then I can not roll that.
What? Hortensia's honestly, I did not expect to like Hortensia as much as I did. I'll just say that right now.
Her. I hate her so much. She's my least favorite character in the entire game, like hands down.
All right, we'll talk about that later on the podcast.
I cannot stand how much I love Unaka.
She's great.
She's great.
She's great.
Amazing.
Like,
she's great.
I should be cheesed out by her. I really should be. But I want her in FEH, and I want her to show up on my barracks and say, "Hiya, papaya." And yes, please. I mean, that warms my heart.
No, she's great. She's awesome.
Yes.
But yeah, if they add Diamant, I'll be rolling for sure. I love Diamant. He's great.
Yeah. So I guess we're like in agreement that like Diamant, Ivy, Unaka, they'll probably sweep CYL 8 next year. Probably.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll definitely be looking out for more engaged units in FEH for sure. But yeah. Any final thoughts before we end it off?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, perfect. Once again, thank you all so much for joining me on this discussion video. It's always super fun. Always glad to have you on. And yeah, talking about FEH is so much fun, and I always look forward to it. And hopefully you all do as well. Both you here and in the audience.
Oh yeah, I love these conversations. It's always fun to talk about FEH and just, all the crazy nonsense that happens every month.
They're a blast, and Summoners, both of these guys put out just amazing content. Please go support it. I watch a video once or maybe twice, and I give them a subscribe and a comment and all that good stuff. All of us love comments. Like, no kidding. We actually talk about how to answer different ones. Like it's we really do like those. Like, that interaction with you guys is amazing. It's so much fun.
Yeah, definitely agree. So don't be strangers. Definitely leave a comment on your thoughts on Faye. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, I'll do my spiel now. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz to help support the channel. Not only to my channel, but to Oblivion's and Joel's Biology channel as well. The links will be in the description as always. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Let us know down in the comments what you're looking forward to in Faye the most for the next month. And yeah, see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Take care and schedule an appointment with your DTM soon.